Despite the economic slowdown, the appreciation of quality and fine craftsmanship still plays a part in our lives. In this programme, the Luxury Channel looks back on a year in luxury with a journey of discovery. From the yachts of Monaco to the Vicuna in the high Andes. From the fashion houses of Milan to the diamond mines of Lesotho. Seeking out the finest goods, lifestyles, and unique experiences in a year in luxury. To the aficionados of fine cuisine, they are simply called white diamonds. The Alba white truffle is regarded as one of the world's finest gastronomic gems. Author and chef Tom Tuke Hastings travels through the hills of northern Italy to uncover its secrets.
Here we go.
Okay. Rocky, stop, wait.
Well done, Rocky.
Nah, okay. Bravo, Rocky, bravo. Oh. Nah, wait. Better, there.
Here we go. And here's the end.
Okay.
Oh, there it is. But
It's
our
very
first
important,
truffle.
No broken.
It's the real thing.
Next, it's bigger, huh?
Yeah. The medieval cobbled streets of Alba are home to what must be the best white truffle shop in the world. The second you walk in, you're hit by this massive aroma and you almost want to just pick up a spoon and keep eating the smell. It's so nice here.
You don't need any GPS system, nothing. You can smell and then you can see where we are, yeah.
No, that is just, it is heavenly to see such a large, perfect firm truffle.
I think in this box you can have 15,000 euro maybe.
That could be your Christmas bonus.
This gorgeous scenery is the timeless backdrop for the 9th International Truffle Auction, held in this magnificent castle. We're here amongst the world's media to see the glitz and the glamour and the luxury side of the truffle. What are you hoping to see today?
To have the possibility to choose a very particular truffle and to have the possibility to make a very big party.
Un bellissimo odore compatto.
It's the world's most glamorous marketplace for luxury mega yachts. For 1 week a year, the Monaco Boat Show plays host to millionaires and yacht owners. Despite the huge price tags, people are still queuing up to buy them.
A super yacht is ultimate luxury equipment of a successful businessman. That's what I understand. Yachting has become a very popular pastime. The land has become very overcrowded.
It's probably one of the most expensive pastimes one can do in life, but as I say, it gives you such freedom and tranquility and the opportunity to explore parts of the world in a way that you otherwise can't. I think the price is justified by the experience that it affords.
You can come here and buy a boat sort of off the peg, pretty much instant. I mean, you'd have it ready for the Christmas season in Antigua.
We have 7 yachts on display here this week. We have the beautiful J-Class Ranger, a very classic sailing yacht, recently rebuilt, but featuring the designs of the original J-Class yacht from the golden age of sail racing.
We've got Kokomo here, which I think, I have to say, I'm not sure, she's on, I think she's on 34.5 million euros. She's a beautiful, probably the nicest sailing yacht around right now. It's available to buy. We have Lady Christine, which is an ocean co. She's the one with the helicopter on down here. Whether we actually sell the yacht during the show, it's very unlikely we'll ever complete that quickly, but we certainly expect to have offers on at least 2 of the yachts we have here.
Prices ranging from anything around 4 or 5 million euros up until 40 million euros. There will be people walking by this show who have a lot more than 40 million euros in their pocket. Some of the world's wealthiest private individuals will be down here this week.
Sometimes you see sore feet and long days. Every year for the last 7 years we've done business as a result of the show.
Moscow, once a grey, drab capital, is one of Europe's most vibrant cities for design and fashion. It attracts the major brands and has redefined the meaning of luxury.
In a world where a lot of capital cities are feeling perhaps just a little tired, it has this energy that draws people to it.
In just a few years, Moscow has undergone a dramatic transition from drab conformity to super luxury.
You always get inspired by Russia, by the women, by the architecture, by the art. Women are head to toe in diamonds, fantastic designer gowns and dripping in fur. You know, it's what designers dream, it's what we draw.
Denis Simachev is at the cutting edge of Russia's contemporary design scene, taking his inspiration from USSR-style 90s gangsters.
My designs are based around Russian history, the history of Russia and around Russia. I use design elements of the past. Principally, first of all, what I consider most important is a sense of humor in the themes I use.
What does it take to produce a champion? The Luxury Channel went to the races to explore the inside world of the buyers and trainers and proved that racing is still very much the sport of kings.
Racehorse owner Russell True has always dreamt of winning the Derby, and today, surrounded by his family and friends, he is here at Epsom to watch his first runner in Alan, Devonshire.
Just to be here is fantastic. I think it's everyone's dream when you buy a horse to win the Derby. He costs 47,000 guineas, so I think that's probably relatively cheap for a Derby horse. I might run out of money before we get to win a Derby, so I might have to give it up.
I mean, do I have a friend who's come from the East End and have a horse running? Just running in the Derby, something to be very proud of.
Are you nervous?
Yeah, I think I'm more nervous than him, really. You know, I think that's always the way. But you never know. If he came in the top four, I think we'd probably be here all night having a drink.
And they're off. Alan Devonshire's racing very fiercely towards the front of the field. So Maidstone mixture, the outsider with Kandahar Run, Alan Devonshire and Bashkirov, and these four are hurtling along. Mixture gives way as they now begin the descent that'll carry them towards Tattenham Corner. Casual Conquest 3 wide from Alan Devonshire. 2.5 furlongs to travel. Dr. Fremantle moves to Kandahar Run. Side has got the rail and he's right alongside. New Approach on the inside, the outside, Tartan Bearer, and it's New Approach in the green by about half a length, wandering off a straight line. Tartan Bearer in second, but New Approach keeping going all the way out to the line. We'll see it out and win the Vodafone Derby. New Approach beat Tartan Bearer. Casual Conquest third, Dr. Freeman.
Sadly, Alan Devonshire did not gallop away with the 2008 Derby trophy, but for his namesake and his owner Russell True, it was as much about the day itself.
Diamond dealer Lawrence Graff has spent his life looking for the perfect gem. Last year, he found a diamond that surpassed almost everything he had seen before.
People ask me, what is the difference between your business in the early days and now? And I say the nought's on the end. I was born to be amongst these stones. I was born to be in the diamond business.
The diamond fraternity is a very small world.
Lawrence became famous from a few high net worth individuals, Sultan of Brunei and others.
The first diamond ring I sold was £100. And when I sold that ring for £100, it was a huge jump from selling the semi-precious stones for £5. So I soon learnt that why sell and buy for £5 or £6 when I can buy and sell for £100.
Letseng is the world's highest operating mine. Perched 10,000 feet up in the mountains of the landlocked kingdom of Lesotho. In October 2006, a female worker spotted one day what was to be the 15th largest uncut diamond in the world. It was to become the Lesotho Promise.
From a rough diamond, you can never really be sure if it's going to have imperfection. You may have a good idea on the yield, but whether it's flawless, whether it's VVS, very, very slightly imperfect, is a differential in price of 40%. We play around with a very important stone, really with our heart in our hand, because something can go wrong at any time. Do you know how hard diamonds are? It's the hardest substance in the world. To actually cut a diamond, a rough diamond, you can only cut it with another diamond. We coat diamond dust on the saw. And to saw a stone can take weeks. It's a very slow, precise process. If we make a mistake with the yield, we're going to lose substantially on the stone. It may be that that mine never delivers another big stone. That might have been it. Maybe it's it for the next 50 years. You don't know.
In the high Andes, we track the rare vicuna, which is famous for producing the world's most valuable wool.
The hair of vicuña, the average is between 12.5 to 13.5 micron. My hair or your hair could be 30 to 40 micron, and the touch is special.
The vicuña coat was a great favorite of the Chicago mob. Al Capone would wear nothing else.
In the 50s, all the mafia was striding around New York and Chicago and everything, wearing these fabulous camel-coloured coats.
Vicuña coats will retail in London for around £4,000.
For a scarf like this, you'll be paying around £500. Something a bit bigger like a shawl is like £1,000. And I think that these days, people with money are looking for long-term value.
Vicuna got quite a sad story in the past because they were killing the vicuna in order to get the hair.
You've got people who may be earning $1 a day, and if they manage to secure 2 kilos, 6 animals worth is more than a year's income for very poor rural people.
With the animal teetering on the brink of extinction, conservationists have turned back to the original Inca model in a desperate bid to save the species. It is the season of the biannual chacu, shearing time for the vicuña. The local Negro male have converged from many miles around to participate in the event. A rope, over a mile in length, carried by hundreds of the local Indian farmers, stretches out across the hillside. The vicuña, on the other hand, is a wild animal and wants to stay that way. More than 200 end into their enclosure, awaiting their turn to be sheared, and pray to the gods for its continued survival.
Today, maybe in the Andes, there are around 200,000 vicuñas, and I think there is room for over 1 million. I'm not a farmer, let's say they are. So to produce more raw material can give a lot of possibility to the people here, to give them a reason to stay here and not to move to cities.
On the surface of a frozen lake, almost 6,000 miles above sea level, the white turf horse race is an event unlike any other in the world.
It's one of the most beautiful places. We are on a lake, it's unbelievable.
I think it's always tremendous when you look round and you see the big crowd that stands, and then, you know, in 3 months' time, there will be swimming people where we are standing now.
In the last sort of 10, 15 years, it has evolved to then a major event. It was renamed White Turf, and it has become something that's internationally known. Of course, it's very special because you have horses running on the snow, and it needs a very special horse. You don't know beforehand, will your horse like the snow or not, but the only way to do is to come here, and then you find out whether your horse likes it.
It's only great if you win a race like skiing in this scenery. It's absolutely indescribable.
In 1864,
Johannes Badrut lured the English customers to St. Moritz by telling them, if it's not true that it's wonderful here during the winter time, then I will pay for your trip and for your stay. And obviously, that was a temptation they couldn't resist. And they came. And since ever, they are coming back.
Cresta as the ultimate rush.
It is the last remaining amateur sport in the whole world, and so it will always remain.
In the early 1900s, aeroplanes didn't exist, motor cars didn't exist. The guys who came to the Cresta Run were the fastest men on Earth. In terms of the pure thrill, you're talking about speeds. I mean, I get up to probably 85, 90 miles an hour, which without an accelerator, i.e. under your own propulsion, is quite fast.
It's been called the world's greatest design show, the revered Salone del Mobile in Milan, where the most celebrated interior designers introduce their latest stunning collections.
The Mecca, the center for creativity, for design.
It's becoming a place where people share and experiment every year more and more.
Milan is a creative soul that has to come out.
The best producers are in Milano, in Italy, and there is no creator, there is no designer without a producer.
I have so many young designers coming from all over the world because they know that here they're going to find a furniture manufacturer who will produce their projects.
A good opportunity to show our thinking, our working.
My design here is union desk and union bench.
No power cords, nothing. It's just passive amplification. And if you lift it, you can see there's nothing underneath. It's just the tubing that works like a trumpet, basically.
We are specializing in a niche market, mixing very great creative designers, as well as materials that we used in the 18th century with a sort of attention to detail that the manufacturers from the 18th century would have thought a natural part of the design, and bringing that into the modern world.
"616 leaves on this cabinet. Each leaf takes more than 6 hours to paint. There's 4 different artists that do the painting, and each artist has learned how to paint 2 different types of leaves. Not a copy of nature, but more like an almost hyperreal, surrealistic interpretation of nature.
We live in a world where there is a great fusion of arts. So whether it's fashion, design, architecture, cinema, painting, photography, all of these really talk together.
I believe that at least 80% of the things which are thrown away are not thrown away because they're damaged. They're thrown away because people, they don't like so much anymore.
One of the key definitions of what good design is, one doesn't even have to say it. It should be written in stone of what a good piece of design should last a long time.
It's better to pay a little more and keep it 3 generations than to pay cheap and throw it in the garbage after 6 months or 1 year.
Japan accounts for over a quarter of the world's market in luxury goods, a staggering statistic. And it's only when you visit Tokyo that you see why this nation loves luxury.
Tokyo is probably the only true metropole in the world. I think it's the most stimulating, design-wise, service-wise, movement-wise city in the world.
This little island of 127 million people is responsible for more luxury consumption than any other place on Earth.
You don't have to tell the Japanese customer
this is very good, this is French craftsmanship. Because by the time they pick it up, they know immediately. They all have all this tradition in appreciating fine things.
British brand Dunhill opened a new concept store in Tokyo's Ginza district. The boutique was designed by Tatsuya Matsui.
Dunhill, my image is very British. But they want to open for their Ginza area. I presentation to the very Tokyo style to Dunhill, and they want to show the British image. But if you show only the British, I think Tokyo people doesn't understand.
As well as his architecture and design work, Tatsuya Matsui is also at the cutting edge of the robotic revolution. Both Hanamori and Louis Vuitton have used his robots to display their lines, along with, of course, Dunhill.
I think it's any Japanese boy love the Star Wars, and I think a really typical Japanese boy.
Hello, Thomas. Hey, 아스파라시 닭의 격시. Hey, 긴기다리 시래기 쫄으셨어요. hey, 진짜로서. 진짜로서.
Hollywood actor Michael Brandon has always appreciated the jet-set life. Here, he takes us on a journey through the world of speed.
First off, one of Britain's most impressive cars, a vehicle every man wants to own, an Aston Martin. With a massive 6-liter V12 engine in front of me, this machine doesn't just go, it flies. But this car is much more than just an expensive toy. It feels like a mark of self-respect. It seems to say, well done. Now, if I asked you to imagine a concept car, would your image be anything like this? This one is called the Zazen, which means...
Zazen means in Japanese meditation while you're sitting. That's why we have chosen a orange interior color as the robe. We bring out a new concept car. Each one is very different than the other one. Each one is crazy in a way. It's outrageous, it's awesome. It's going to the edge of technology and materials.
What do you got planned this year?
Well, for this year, we will unveil the Scuba. As the name says, it's a diving car. It's the first real diving car in the world, actually going to 35 feet. We do not sell our concept cars. They stay one-offs, remain one-offs, and we want to reproduce them. It's the company history, and maybe at one day we sell the whole collection, but not an individual piece.
From a street in Chelsea, all the way to a stylish square in Monaco. The Grand Tour is a unique journey of fine wine, historic French hotels, wonderful food, and of course, classic cars.
We don't look at the Grand Tour as being really a motoring event. We see it as being much more a social event. It's kind of a 5-day party on wheels.
For everyone, the highlight of the event is probably the route, which is painstakingly plotted to keep the teams out on deserted country roads away from busy towns and the dreaded traffic jam.
But every year there's somebody new, you know, a couple of new people hear about it. It's totally word of mouth. You know, you hear about this event, you say, that sounds exciting, I'd love to do it. But actually, it's only when you do it that you understand how unique it is. I mean, for somebody to want to do this year after year after year, it's saying a lot about the event.